What's up, guys? How's it going? Blitz, when we come back at you with today, I've got a really special video. As we all know, it is a very, very special event happening tomorrow night at Sunday night, as Wrestlemania 28 will take place. And anyone who, if you have nothing to do on April Fool's Day, this is gonna be an amazing event. I mean, top to bottom, this potentially can become one of the best WrestleManias of all time. I mean, it is a very, very stacked Mania from top to bottom, and as I said previously, I mean, it's going to be an amazing event, and you definitely want to order it, as it will be on pay-per-view this upcoming Sunday. And I just wanted to make a quick little predictions video, so let's get to it. So first up on the WWE, I'm following the WWE.com schedule thing, so if you want to follow along, go ahead and leave your predictions down below. So first up, we've got the WWE Tag Team Championship Triple Threat match, which was added just, I believe, last night, as the new team of what's his name, Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel go against the Usos again, and against the I think they're called the Colognes, are they? The champions? I'm not sure. I think. Oh no, Primo and Epico. Sorry. Primo and Epico, and it should be a good fun match. This is basically going to be the dark match, I think, the match that is not going to be televised. And I mean, there's not much interest from me into this match, just because of how it was kind of thrown together. I do think that Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel are going to make a good, fun, high-flying team, and I think that maybe that is why they were put in a team together, in order to win this, and maybe kind of give a little bit of a revitalization to the tag team division. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel to win the tag team championships. So then we go on to the card that was previously basically announced. So then we have Kelly and Maria Menounos, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, versus the Divas champion Beth Phoenix and Eve. This should be one of those, like the celebrity match, like last year we had, was that last year? No, 2 years ago, Mickey Rourke match. And I mean, it's the celebrity attraction, so to speak. And I definitely see, because of that, Kelly and Maria Menounos winning, and I think I see Maria I don't know how to pronounce her last. Maria getting the pin to win the match. So there you go. Then we go on to Randy Orton versus Kane, which should be an excellent wrestling matchup, as these guys are ready, both of them, to steal the show, because they have both been seen on interviews, quoted to say that they are going to be stealing the show, and that they're going to be working very, very hard to put on the best match of the night. So I'm excited about that. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of storyline invested into this match, and it feels like this is more of a match to kind of simply put Randy Orton on the WrestleMania card in order to get the other big name that the WWE always pushes, which is their kind of SmackDown treasure, so to speak, Randy Orton on the card. I kind of feel bad for King, because I feel like he's gonna... It feels like he's starting to get lost in the shuffle again, which is unfortunate, because I really thought that this new character that he's had was very interesting, and he was doing a great job with it. So then we've got Team Teddy versus Team Johnny, which is going to be Team Johnny consists of Mark Henry, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Drew McIntyre, Jack Swagger, and the team captain David Otunga. It's a little weird that David Otunga is the captain, considering that The Miz is on that team and Mark Henry's on the team. I mean, you got much higher caliber status guys on there, so I think what they're trying to do is kind of maybe slowly push Otunga into a higher main event status position. As far as the Team Teddy, we've got the Booker T, who joined just past Monday, the Great Khali, R-Truth, Kofi Kingston, Woo 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 Woo, you know it, Zack Ryder, and Mr. Toodle My Own Horn, Santino Marella, as the captain for Team Teddy. This should be a fun match. I think that this is the match that kind of is put together to reward all the guys that worked hard during the year and just get them some exposure on the main event, on the main card. I mean, just considering that, sorry, they're predicting over 1 million buys, and this is a big event that is going to be seen by much more than 1 million eyeballs. I'm almost 100% sure that this is going to get a high view count, just because of people going to movie theaters to watch. There's bars, etc. So I definitely think that this is going to be that this is a good match to kind of build up who they want to go with forward. As you see, they have got Drew McIntyre in there. They've got The Miz, Ziggler, who I'm a big fan of. And they're starting to kind of, I think that is primarily why I would pick Team Johnny, because it seems like that is the team that is more got the higher caliber status guys, especially going forward. And I think that this is a great match to kind of create a lot of momentum for these guys going forward, whatever it is that they're going to be doing, whether the Ziggler and Swagger are going to be chasing the tag title belt, Mark Henry is thrown back into the world title picture, so is Miz, maybe Otunga will get pushed up to, I don't know, maybe battle for the United States title. I'm not really sure what they're going to do with him 100%, but I definitely see that there's a lot of guys on Team Johnny who are who've got more potential as far as investment into the future and going forward, which is why I'm going to go ahead and pick Team Johnny to win this match. And I hope that this feud continues maybe forward. I think that it's still got some momentum, and it's a fun feud. I think that John Laurinaitis has become, in my opinion, super entertaining. I always laugh every Monday night when he's on TV. He's really silly, and the stuff that he does, I think he's been doing a tremendously good job at becoming like this complete idiot on TV. And I don't know, I really enjoy him. I think he's really funny. So that's that. Sorry, I just gotta slide up. There we go. Intercontinental Championship match of Cody Rhodes versus the Big Show. Basically, Cody Rhodes has been kind of making fun of the Big Show for weeks and weeks and weeks now, and telling him that you're not ready, and you're going to fail at WrestleMania, and that you've always been failing, and that you were a complete failure at WrestleMania, and those whole Big Show jokes, and all that. But I think that this is going to be basically a kind of like Big Show's triumphant moment, and his moment where he kind of rises above, so to speak, not to steal anything from the main event guy from this pay-per-view, but and gets his like glorious WrestleMania moment by defeating Cody Rhodes with a knockout punch and getting the title from Rhodes. But I definitely see this feud going forward into the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, and maybe Cody getting it back and all that, because I do think that in 2012 Cody Rhodes will become a world champion, whether we like it or not. Let's put it that way. Alright, then we move on to the World Heavyweight Championship match, which is Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus. I think that the WWE has so yeah, I picked the Big Show, by the way, so there you go. Just making sure that I said that in a clear manner. So back to the Sheamus Bryan match. I think that the WWE has been doing an incredible job of making Sheamus wrestle smaller guys. If you notice, they made him wrestle Chris Jericho, Dolph Ziggler. Who else did he wrestle? Crap, I don't remember. But he's been wrestling the smaller guys on the roster, which has been made, and he's been having some trouble with them, which I think has done a great job of kind of building Daniel Bryan as a credible threat for Sheamus, and making it seem like even though Sheamus is like this really big, powerful guy who can, like, in reality should be able to dominate Daniel Bryan. But with the way that they've been building up this match, I think that they've done an incredibly well done job of promoting Bryan as a very, very strong possible winner for this match. All that being said, considering that I think that CM Punk is going to be retaining his belt, I think that it makes sense for this belt, for the World Heavyweight title, to change hands to Sheamus. And I definitely see that Daniel Bryan keep chasing Sheamus and maybe win it back in some, cheating manner or anything like that, or something like that. And maybe Orton getting thrown into the feud again. Something along those lines. I don't know. Maybe they're even going to go with Sheamus Orton feuding going on forward from here. So that's that. I'm going to go ahead and pick Sheamus in a contest that I think is going to be a fun match. The only problem with this match is that I feel like they haven't really done anything to build a feud between these two guys. Like, they've done a good job building Daniel Bryan separately, and they've done a good job building Sheamus separately, but they haven't done a good job of building interest in having these two characters and personas clash and have a battle, so to speak. So that's what I got to say about that match. Then we move on to the match that I think easily can be the best match of the night. This really can be, as far as technically speaking, these guys are going to go out there, and this is going to be similar to the Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels, to the Shawn Michaels Kurt Angle match, I think, and that is CM Punk versus Chris Jericho for the WWE title. I think that these guys have done an incredible job with the amount of time and just overall investment that the WWE has put into them as far as the ability to develop the storyline. I mean, they've been getting kind of overlooked, and it's very sad that the WWE is in a point where the WWE champion is kind of like the 6th, maybe even 7th guy on the brand. I don't know that that's good for business. I don't know if it makes sense to have Punk kind of not in a really high caliber status. But then again, I think that what they are trying to do with CM Punk is slowly build him up to be this next huge star. Because even if you look at like guys like John Cena, even when he won the belt, he didn't instantly become the biggest star. It took him another Mania and slowly they build up the credibility of John Cena by defeating Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania and defeating Triple H at WrestleMania. And slowly they've kind of built up John Cena as this really powerful powerhouse. And I think that's what they're doing with CM Punk, is that they're slowly trying to develop him to become that next star that is going to be kind of growing along with John Cena and creating that potential big match between those two guys of Cena and Punk, because I think that there's still a lot of interest there left, considering that their feud ended with the SummerSlam feud, and I think that there's much more build there that they could work with. But that being said, CM Punk needs to develop further because he has been getting a little bit stale prior to the Chris Jericho return. All that being said, I do see CM Punk retaining his title here and moving on forward with the feud with Jericho to keep going and building up even more and hopefully culminating in a big stipulation matchup at SummerSlam. In my opinion, as far as business-wise, I think it makes more sense to have Jericho win and go over here in order to create more heat going into Extreme Rules and next Monday Night Raw. I think it makes a lot of sense to do that, and I think that it creates a lot of interest in having the good guy, the babyface, so to speak, chase the heel, the bad guy. In this case, it would be Chris Jericho. And I think that it's a much more intriguing story most of the time when you have the good guy trying to chase the bad guy with the belt. So that's all. That all being said, I picked CM Punk to win, but I think that it makes more sense for Jericho to go over and then create more interest and more development in the storyline. Then we go on to the match that a lot of people are kind of calling the main event for themselves. Not for me personally, but it is the match between The Undertaker and Triple H. And it's a very unique situation as we've got a Hell in a Cell match. I think that the last Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania, I think, was the one between Triple H and Batista, I believe. And the special guest referee of Shawn Michaels definitely adds a little bit of intrigue into this match. I think that this match is going to be very, very brutal. I think that we might even see blood in this match. I think that these guys are really going to try to steal the show, especially because what these two guys are really good at, although they're incredible wrestlers, they're not as technical as Punk and Jericho. Like Jericho, as far as on basic technicalities of professional wrestling, they should be able to out-wrestle Triple H and The Undertaker, but the thing is that The Undertaker and Triple H know how to do very well, which is the older generation of guys know how to do incredibly well, is tell a story through the match. So tell a story with their eyes, with certain ways, things that they speak, with their body movements, with the way they wrestle, whatever, and that's what I think will create a lot of the intrigue in the story. And the fact that you throw Shawn Michaels into this match really adds more of a fire into this and makes you kind of question the idea of whether or not Triple H is actually going to win, because Michaels might screw The Undertaker and let Triple H win, and then we go to 19-1, and Triple H is the one that has slayed the dragon, so to speak, in The Undertaker. But when you start thinking more clearly and logically, and you don't invest yourself so much in the emotion of this match, you realize that it simply doesn't make any business sense for The Undertaker to lose, especially, in my opinion, to lose to a guy that is also on the way out of active wrestling. I mean, he's already not on the active roster, and he wrestles on very rare occasions. But I think that if The Undertaker ever is to lose, I think that the perfect time for The Undertaker to lose would be to lose to a young guy or someone that he can hand off kind of the tradition, or hand off the responsibility of being the guy. And at this time, unfortunately, as much as we all hate him and we dislike him, but the only guy that can do that is John Cena, which is why I'm saying that if there's a guy who can defeat The Undertaker at this moment, I would say that it would be John Cena. If John Cena were to defeat The Undertaker, that would be the only guy that I see legitimately making sense, making business sense for the WWE to invest in allowing the Undertaker to lose to. So, all that said, the Undertaker wins, retains the streak, stays the undefeated at WrestleMania, and who knows, this might be the last time that we see the Undertaker at WrestleMania. I mean, 20-0 is a good time to leave. It doesn't really make sense to me for the Undertaker to keep wrestling, let's say, to 21, 22. Like, it doesn't make sense to retire, let's say, like 21-0 or 22-0. 20 is a pretty round number. The next one after it is 25, and I really don't see the Undertaker wrestling for another 5 Manias. I mean, I think he might have it in him, but he's just physically broken up already, and I really don't know if he could keep doing this at this high level for this long. So I think that this might very well be the last Mania that we see the Undertaker in, and I think that the ending of the match is going to be very emotional, where the guys are going to hug and kind of, bring an end to this big feud between these 3 guys over the last nearly, 4 years now. So that being said, this should be an amazing matchup, just from a storytelling point. And then we go on to, finally, The Rock has come back to WrestleMania, and he's going to be laying the smack it down on Mr. You Can't See Me, Mr. Thugonomics himself, John Cena, Captain C Nation. This matchup has been creating a lot of heat and everything, just because these guys really don't like each other, and I think that WWE has done an incredible job of setting a main event a year ahead of time. I mean, that is something that it has got so much problems. If you think about it, to Vince McMahon, imagine how problematic it is for Vince to realize, oh my God, like, what happens if John Cena gets injured? What happens if The Rock can't make it? Like, it's a huge commitment to make a main event a year ahead of time. It has never been done before, and I don't know if they could do this again. I mean, it might work, but I don't know if they really could pull this off again. They've done an incredible job of building the story up. I think that it was getting a little stretched out at the end, but that last moment that we had between John Cena and The Rock was so much emotion and so powerful, and it was just John Cena really kind of rising to The Rock's level, and then The Rock just simply telling John Cena that on a professional level I need to do this, but on a personal level I simply don't like you. It was so like genuine, and it seemed like these guys really just are gonna try to go out there and prove to the world who is the very best WWE superstar of all time. You can argue, you can say Shawn Michaels is an incredible performer, and Stone Cold Steve Austin is the highest merchandiser. But John Cena has carried this company for 10 years. Shawn Michaels never was the kind of guy that sold pay-per-views left and right. Like, he was the guy for the wrestling fans. He did an incredible job of appealing to the general public, but he was never a Stone Cold or a Rock. You know what I mean? Like, he never reached that status, in my opinion, or he never quite became that guy. I mean, he was a top guy, and for me, he's my all-time favorite wrestler. But if I had to pick a star, a superstar, John Cena is definitely up there. I mean, he's been carrying this company for a while, selling merchandise like crazy. I don't remember, I was reading something like he sold like $12 million worth of merchandise last year, which is absolutely nuts. I mean, head to toe, each kid, like I heard Kevin Nash say this, is covered with like $80 to $100 worth of merchandise. Every John Cena fan. And that's the difference between us cheering for Dolph Ziggler and buying one t-shirt, one person buys a t-shirt, while you have like 100 kids buying John Cena's merchandise. It's very simple. It's still a business, and he's definitely one of the highest grossing superstars and a huge influence in WWE business and history. And then you've got The Rock, the guy who arguably, I mean, as much as Stone Cold was huge and everything, but The Rock really was the guy who was able to cross over and create that crossover appeal of Hollywood and just the general population that doesn't even watch wrestling on a regular basis. I mean, I've talked to people who haven't seen wrestling since they were like 8 or 9 years old, and they're like, whoa, I heard The Rock is coming back. Who's he wrestling? You know what I mean? Like, he's the guy who is the only guy that I've ever heard be able to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's the only guy that can create that intrigue by a general population kind of people. So, all that being said, This should be an absolutely stellar match. I think that this is going to be very reminiscent of the Hulk Hogan the Rock versus The Rock match. I think that this is very important for these guys to do an incredible job, which I really trust both of them. Cena, whether you like him or you hate him, every Mania and every big main match situation, he rises to the occasion. He had an incredible match with Shawn Michaels. He had a great match with Triple H. He had an incredible match with CM Punk at Money in the Bank. He always rises. He, just like his shirt says, rise above hate. He rises to the occasion and he performs like a mother flopper. And The Rock, I mean, you can't doubt The Rock. He proved at Survivor Series that he still got it. Survivor Series did feel a little bit scripted, like there was a little bit too much scripted stuff going on with The Rock, hitting R-Truth and Miz in certain ways. But I definitely see The Rock still being able to, with the way he's been training and getting ready for this, I think he's been taking this very seriously, and he's going to put on a show that only The Rock can put on. And with what The Rock does best, and I mean, absolutely, I think no one does that better than The Rock, is connect with the fans. The way what he does is he knows how to have people right in the middle of his palm during his matches, with the way he hits moves and the way he looks into the crowd and how he reacts and over-exaggerates movements at oftentimes. I mean, he and Stone Cold were perfect at that, and I think that that's a big thing that a lot of wrestlers nowadays miss, is creating a connection with the crowd, because it's important to have a connection with the fans at home and all, but it's super important to connect with the crowd in the stadium, because it is the guys in the arena, the crowd at the arena, who ultimately influence the people who are sitting at home. Whether we like it or not, we are influenced by those people, who they boo, who they cheer, how they react, etc. So that's all I wanted to say. I know that it's a long video, but WrestleMania is a huge event, and it's worth every second that I talked about. I am so pumped up. I cannot wait for this event. I think that it is going to be absolutely bonkers, off the roof, crazy. I mean, I can't wait. I am so pumped up for this WrestleMania. I don't remember a last WrestleMania that I've been pumped up about this much for. And it is an incredible time to be a wrestling fan. If you are not a wrestling fan right now, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Become a wrestling fan. I don't know. I'll catch you guys next time. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, leave me a thumbs up. I always appreciate those. Subscribe for regular content delivered to your subscription box. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.